Coach O, look at this guy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Good to see you.
You too.
What a pleasure. What an honor.
I told you, of course.
Look at you looking all big and strong.
Trying to get like you. Trying to get like you, man. So Coach O, you're first. Just tell us a little bit about John during his high school career, when he began his first course and how he evolved in the weight room, and maybe speak to the competitions you attended to.
Okay. Well, John did not look like he does now. John was a very small. I would say your self-confidence was on the lower end of the scale at that point of your life, and just watched him and fall in love with being in the weight room, falling in love with the process, and he really just had a passion for it, and it was something you could tell every single day that he came to school. That's what he looked forward to. Mm-hmm. And it was wild just to see how not just physically you developed and changed, and you became so confident in who you are, and I watched you change socially as well. So one of my visions as being a strength and conditioning teacher is not just the physical part. It's can we help people grow physically, mentally, emotionally? Mm-hmm. That's the ticket. And I watched you become a beast, but at the same time, I watched you just become a very confident individual that I knew no matter what it was in life, you would excel, because you gain that confidence and, as the kids say, swag about you. You know what I mean? And that's what I absolutely love about this whole process, and you doing what you're doing, and you choosing to make this a lifetime, mm-hmm. not just style, but a lifetime, a career now, mm-hmm. which is just awesome to me. And that's why I chose to become not just a strength and conditioning coach, but a teacher and a coach, is because I had someone make an impact on my life. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I can have that exact same effect on people is awesome. To see you become a grown man and mature and become just an awesome human being, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, thank you. And John, switching gears a little bit, how did Coach O impact you and through high school and now, what you're doing now?
So Coach O was someone that I saw as not just a coach, not just a mentor, but I also saw him kind of as a father figure as well. Going back into where it all started with him was I tried out football. I was a defensive tackle, defensive end. I even tried right guard, and I was a very small individual. And I tried to have that connection with that specific sport of football. And I started shifting gears into the weightlifting part, because we did a lot of lifting for high school, for classes, for football. And the one day I came up to him and I said, hey, the season just ended for football. I'm not sure how I want to, if I'm going to move forward doing that. And I remember talking, it was in the cafeteria, and he even told me, he was like, hey, that's fine. I respect your decision. If you want to stick with weightlifting, that's cool. And later on, not only was it strength and conditioning, but we created that new advanced strength and conditioning for Olympic weightlifting, and I was already getting myself in there. I was training at garage strength and learning the technicalities of the snatch and clean and jerk, and he was my mentor. He was the one that taught it, and he was there throughout the whole process. And he was able to not just be there as a coach, but going into that father figure part, there was days where I would go into the weight room and I wasn't 100% every time I was there, and I had discussions with him. I had girl trouble, I had things going on outside of school, and he was there to listen. Even if he didn't say anything, he was there to just hear me and say, hey, I'm if there's anything that you want me to do, I'm here for you. If you ever need to call somebody, let me know. And that's something that I respect. And it wasn't just like, oh, like, who cares? You know, you can suck it up and just hit more weight. Like, no, he was actually there to have a conversation with me and pat me on the back. And during those competitions for weightlifting, he was there to pick me up at 6 a.m. and get there and be at Westchester by a specific time and weigh in. And even though I didn't make weight right away, but it was, you know, it was a process. And him being one of my biggest fans and hearing him scream, get it up, get it up, get it up. Just every time that, even to this day, when I get prepped for a lift that's heavy, if it's a matching personal record or if it's something that I'm chasing, I can hear his voice in the back of my mind just saying, get it up. You know, like that's something that pushes me even to this day. So
if you could put yourself in the shoe of like an 18, 17-year-old, what advice would you give someone who's just in a strength class right now if you go back and do it all over again?
If you're obsessed with it, and it doesn't have to be just the sport of weightlifting, but even if it's football, basketball, soccer, whatever, I think that training in the gym is important because there's a lot of things that you can do maintenance-wise for your body, not just physically, but also mentally in the weight room outside of being on the field. And for someone who is young and currently doing this stuff now, it's I would say be obsessed with it, and even if you are doing it with either by yourself or a small group of people. For me, when I was growing up, I only had a very selected group of people that I was friends with. It wasn't this giant group, and there was people that came and went. And for me, it was I had to tell myself that, hey, if this is what you want to do, be obsessed with it, even if it's just by yourself. And there's people that will start out, and if other people are not doing it with them, they lose that motivation, and it gets tough. But just thinking of the end goal of what you want to do, and do you want to take this sport and apply it to life? Do you want to take it into college? Do you want to take it into the NFL, NBA, whatever you want to do? And it might be a big goal. Like for me, I want to go to the Olympics. That's huge, but having just that mental of just chasing it consistently it's a big thing.
So, John, 5 years out of high school, almost 5 years. Talk a little bit about your path and where you are right now.
Okay. So it's been a couple years. Time, like I said earlier, time's flying. So I went to college. I went to RAC. I studied my business administration. So I wanted to get that under my belt because one of my biggest goals is to own my own gym and obviously pursue that and become this personal trainer that I just recently became one. So it's exciting. So the reality is waking up a little bit. It's coming to life. So right now, like I said, I'm certified in personal training through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So that's currently what I'm doing now. Another thing that I'm currently getting is my overall weightlifting certification through USA Weightlifting. So I'm in the works of getting that too. So I can continue with these one-on-ones with people and learning the technicalities of the snatch and the clean and jerk and kind of what Coach O was helping me do. I want to take that and apply to other people and do that same thing and have fun with it. So,
do you think your path would have been different if you didn't have these experiences at Governor Mifflin?
Yes, I think my path would be very different. The fact that Mifflin had these courses to offer, I think is huge, even for someone who just wants to do it for lifting. And someone who wants to do that to build muscle and mental strength, I think that's good. And if Mifflin didn't have this and didn't have advanced strength conditioning, I think my path would be very much different. Yes.
How's it feel, listening to his story and knowing that he went through your program now and where he is?
Well, I mean, I feel blessed. I'm glad that you chose to come back and have this conversation. Not that I need every single one of my students to come back and want to talk about that, but one of my main goals is that kids can become adults and go walk into a Planet Fitness in a Gold's Gym and know how to put a plan of attack together and know how to set goals and just to prepare them for life outside of school. And that's what it's about. So
yeah.